This video is all about my young horse having fun. If you're new here, my name is Brandy, and this is my almost 2-year-old stud colt Manzer. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Manzer as the video goes, but for now, let's just watch him have a little bit of fun. Well, as you can see, this guy is totally full of himself today. And sometimes the best thing is to just be able to run around and play and have a good time. Now, Manzer is outside 24/7, and he does have a buddy that he shares a paddock with right now. He's not gelded, so I cannot have him out with the herd until I make that decision to geld him, which I have not decided yet. As of right now, Manzer only has one testicle that has descended, so until the other one comes down, I can't really do anything anyway. Now, if it doesn't come down, I will need to have it surgically removed because otherwise he would be considered a cryptorchid. So I'm just kind of waiting to see if that drops, and then from there, I'll see if he still has as great of an attitude as he does now, and I feel like he will be a good prospect as a stud. I will keep him as a stallion. So if you're not familiar with Manzer's journey, though, I have a playlist that shares everything about him, all of the videos from his birth up to present date. So you can go and check out all those videos in my playlist. Manzer was born on May 11th, 2019, and today is February 27th, 2021. So he is almost 2 years old. And just to kind of give you a little bit of update as to what we've been doing lately. Well, first of all, he's almost 900 pounds, and he is 15 hands, pretty much even. I'd say he's a little bit higher in the butt. So, and his mom is 15'1". So he's pretty close to being the same size as his mom, and I think he's a little bit taller than his sire now. So I think he's going to be a relatively big boy. I don't do a whole lot with Manzer. He's handled every single day, but I don't do anything real strenuous. So back in, that's nice and acrobatic. Back in November, I did have him saddled, and I did a lot of the work that I like to do before I get a colt started under saddle. So I spent 4 days with him, and all of his training sessions were outstanding. He's so smart and so willing, and he's really, really fun to work with because of his curiosity and his great personality. But he's really not fazed by a whole lot. So it's hard for me because I want to just get going so bad on riding him and doing all the things that we want to do. But, he's still really young, and I don't like to start horses too young. So I think it's okay to, get them going and giving them a good introduction, but I don't want to be riding him really, really young, other than maybe some light work. The work I did with Manzer back in November consisted of some round pen work, rope work, and I put a bareback pad on him, put a saddle on him, and I did put weight on him. So I just swung a leg over from the fence, and I did sit on him. So, and he was fantastic with all of that. But that was just 4 days of work, and I kept his sessions very short. So, but his average work session, now I don't work with him often at all. Like I said, he's handled daily, but his actual take him out and work with him has been very minimal until this point. So now his daily routine is sort of, he gets haltered, and I usually just bring him into the barn and work with him in there. We do a little bit of, walking up and down the driveway and around the barnyard, but most of the work is just done in the barn. And all I want to do is make sure that he's very sensitive and responsive. I hear a lot of people talk about desensitizing their horse to things, and I don't like to desensitize my horses. I want them to, I don't like the term. I want my horses to stay sensitive because I want to be able to use that later with my riding. So what I would rather do is I expose my horses to things. So if they're worried about something, I'll work on it until they're not so worried about it and just kind of keep revisiting that stuff. But I don't want to continue something until they are dull about it. So Manzer is doing really well with backing, and he's doing really well with coming forward. Very minimal pressure for both, so that's nice. I did just start tying him, so as of the day that this video was taken, I think he's been tied 3 times, 3 separate days, and I started him out with that in my smaller barn. I have the 2 barns, and so I would tie him in there and go through the whole grooming session and just let him get comfortable with it before I brought him up to my arena where there's a lot more commotion. So now as of the day that this video was taken, that was the first time that I tied him in my arena, and he did very good with that too. It was a little different for him because of the commotion. So there's horses coming and going, and he's not really sure what's expected of him. So, but he did very good. Now, I didn't want to tie him prior to this because I just didn't feel like he was ready. I like to make sure that my horses are very good at following a feel and come forward to release the pressure before I ever tie them. I know a lot of people just go ahead and tie them up, and I don't believe in that because I feel like that's what teaches horses to pull back when tied. So I want to make sure that I set him up for the best success possible by making sure that he knows and understands how to follow a feel. Now, in addition to all of that basic work we've been doing, I've also been handling Manzer's legs and feet extensively. I want to make sure that he's really good for a farrier. I typically do most of my own trimming, but if anybody else handles his feet, I want to make sure that he's an absolute rock star. I want to make sure kids can handle him, and basically anybody's going to be safe around his legs. Now we're going to talk a little bit about flight instinct. As you can see here, Manzer just got scared and took off. I think my neighbor's dog is running around outside, and he can see that. So he ran away, and then his curiosity brought him back to see what it was, and then he runs away again. Have you heard the saying, hightail it out of there? Well, that's where this saying comes from. Horses have a tendency of putting their tail up in the air like a flag whenever they're frightened or when they're excited or frisky or just plain curious about something. So now also, you're going to listen to the sound that Manzer is going to make. This is very common when horses are curious. Horses will make that sound to alert others, and I've also heard that they'll do that to clear out their nasal passage so they can smell better. Manzer will continue to do this until he feels like the scary thing that was behind the arena is no longer a threat to him. Now, just to clear up some confusion, because some people think that only Arabians hold their tail up high, Manzer is a quarter horse. All breeds of horses will hold their tail up high like this when they are frightened or excited or playful. It's a normal thing for all breeds, not just Arabians. Arabians just have a tendency to carry their tail a little bit higher more frequently. This was a great way for Manzer to burn off some energy and just have a good time. I also like the fact that he was separated from his buddy for a while. He's with another horse in the paddock 24/7, and they have a tendency to get a little bit close, and I don't want any of my horses to be buddy sour, so I like to separate them as often as possible. It's very good for them. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a like, share it with your friends, leave me a comment below, and let me know if you have any questions about Manzer or if there's any topics that you'd like me to cover in an upcoming video. Also, if you want to learn more about training techniques or instructional videos, things that are really detail-oriented with horses, improving relationships with horses, and virtual lessons, I have another option on my channel, and it's called memberships. So if you go to my channel page, you'll see an icon that says join. You can just click on that button and it takes you directly to that. With the memberships, we also do a weekly live stream video. So there's a lot that goes on with that, and I hope you consider. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.